I came here in '94. I was 6 years old, and between that time, I lived with my mom in Jamaica. I didn't know why my dad took me up here, but I didn't have that father-son relationship as most kids would have. I got in trouble one day at school where it was expulsion, no longer suspension, and both my parents had to be there. I told them I did not live with my mother, I only lived with my dad, so they did some background check, and they had found out that I'm not supposed to be living with my dad at all. I was supposed to be with my mom. As much as he was bad to me and my brother, like, wasn't being a father, my dad was one of those guys that I had something that I knew he was doing, and I couldn't take it no more because I tried my best to, tell someone about it.
Can you tell us what it was?
Honestly, yeah, I don't mind. You know what I mean? We moved just to Finch and Weston Road, right? With a woman he had met here in Kipling. And my dad was, he looked at her daughter. My dad was doing stuff with her 13-year-old daughter from she was 13. And when I found out, she was 15. You know what I mean? For somebody to, look at a little kid and do that stuff, and with evidence and all this stuff, and the cop told me they could only hold him for a year. A year. 1 year. I didn't show up to the trial. It wasn't worth it. You know what I mean? It wasn't. So I took justice in my own hands. I waited for my dad everywhere he went. When he go by convenience store, when he go buy his lottery. I had my friends waiting for him. We robbed him. We beat him up. I waited for him to come off a bus from work. I stoned him all the way to his house. He took that girl's innocence. The mother is still with him. And, my stepsister, she ended up being pregnant, and she went to a group home, and now I have no clue where she is or how she's doing. But
Was it your father?
you would love for me to say that, wouldn't you? I have a brother and a step nephew at the same time. Yeah, pretty sick, pretty cool. Whichever way you want to look at it. It is what it is.
Ricky was kind of in rough shape. He had a lot of attitude and behavioral issues. My upbringing, I actually grew up in Regent Park and kind of understood some of the issues he was going through when he came here.
Brad, you know what? He understood. He understood me, you know what I mean?
It's very easy as a youth worker to get discouraged, because sometimes it can take 2 years, 5 years, and after a while you almost think, like, am I wasting my time?
Brad wasn't like the other staff. Most of the staff, they had given up long, because how many times could you talk to someone before, you know what I mean? You could ask anybody here about Brad. Like, you go out and ask anybody. He's not a staff. He's a friend. You know what I mean? He's one of the boys.
As we built a rapport with him and sitting down with him over and over again over the years, I think things really started to sink in, and I think he really realized that we actually care for him.
To see somebody that's not a family member, not a friend, just a complete stranger, just cares so much about you, man, shows a lot. It shows a lot. It really does. And, I wish I'd taken it sooner, because, I probably would have been in a better place a lot faster than I am in now. But, I had to learn those lessons, and I'm glad, I learned them. And I'm glad these guys are still here no matter what,